out of doors of this world, so we will do what we can, and I hope you enjoy what I have to offer you. So let's start off and find out how many of you are teaching, and I suppose there's many of you who are studying, and I think that the combination of people who have had teacher's training will continue to study and watch themselves, because you never know what will happen.
Shall we have our 5 volunteers come up? Yes, without hurting anyone, please. Okay. This is a lot like musical chairs. I think we have our 5 volunteers now.
And gradually you begin to say, oh, that is great. Oh, isn't this nice? And then, why, I did this the other day and I couldn't do anything. So you go a little bit up and down, don't you? I had that experience. And now, as I continue, I am still learning a great deal about the thinking and the work that F.M. Alexander left us to continue with. And so I'm going to try to give you a little bit of information that I have studied with him, I've studied with other teachers, and I think you are probably doing that same thing. So let's have a bit of fun and see what we can do today. And so the 5 people up here. Now, who wants to be first? I'm looking at each other.
I do.
You do. All right.
I would like to leave my arms.
Very well. Did you hear that?
No. I would like to leave my arms.
All right, now let's see what she does and she's a what is your impression of that? How would you describe what you did? And what did you think about as you were doing it?
I was tightening my neck and I was worrying about my neck. So,
What were you wondering about your neck?
I was wondering whether my neck was free or not.
All right. So what did you do to help yourself in that?
What, you mean what did I do?
Yes,
Um,
when you were,
I stopped moving my arms.
and did that help you?
No.
Now we're right deciding to figure it out?
I think I was too nervous.
Oh, I don't know what it is about nerves.
Right. There were too many people watching me.
Well, you were supposed to be doing something with your arm.
Yes.
You're not supposed to watch those people. They're come to see you, haven't they?
That's the problem. John?
I was proud that I came out here in front.
All right. Well, I'll begin to give you a little bit of help. What do you do when you want to start helping yourself? You want to move your arms,
Yes.
don't you? All right. We've got to get a run on ourselves. Now, come on.
Now
When you were putting your arms up, what were you doing with your body? What were you doing with your legs?
I was stiffening my body.
All right. And how are you going to unstiffen it?
I just want to make it easier next time.
You do. All right. So you're going to have to move, aren't you? All right. Now, what movement has to be used?
I want to start with moving my head forward and up.
All right, so let's go forward and up. Now you show me what you do when you go forward and up. Well, I guess I better show you.
Okay.
Where is up?
Up is here.
Yes. All right. Now what is going to help you? My hands are going to help you, aren't they? So what does the quality of my hands have to be?
Delicate, I suppose.
No, you don't suppose you
I know.
First, I should not touch a person unless my hands are very, very delicate. So, with the delicacy of my hands, I'm going to put them right here, each on the side, just below your ear. And I'm going to suggest that can you feel them? All right. So I would like to have you let me move my hand a very little up and follow my hand. And what do they feel like when I do that?
They felt very delicate. And they helped me move my head up and forward.
All right. So now I'm going to come here again, and I'm going to help you a little bit. So that your head is moving a tiny bit up and forward in such a manner that you get some freedom right through your shoulders here. What does this feel like when I do that?
I was releasing tension in my shoulders.
That's right. So what is the quality
very delicate again.
All right. So then, what's going to happen is the fact that I've given you a little tiny bit of hope here, and that's going to allow me to come here and give you a little help in this direction. And
For my hips.
yes, it is. All right. Now, we can't sit in the chair all day. So, I'm going to help you a little bit more here. And while I'm doing this, you're moving a tiny bit, which brings you back to the chair. Now, what's that?
It was very easy again,
All right.
very nice.
So you have all the information that you need. And then you have to watch that you do what we can call constructive thinking. And that constructive thinking is going to let you take yourself again forward. And then you can go back to the chair. And now, what did you notice about yourself?
It was very easy again. Just the last bit of coming back was not so easy anymore.
That's right, because you're having to train your thinking. For yourself. So, to the next person I'm going to help. And what you notice when I put my legs here, just the tiny bit. How do you know? And then when I come out here a little bit, take the other here. And then if you do a little talking to yourself, that you're going to move your head a little bit up so your body can have something to solve. There you are. And all that is going to allow this part of your body to move up and release the heavy tension to the other part of your body. What does that feel like?
Very easy on the leg. Abdomen.
Yes.
My spine.
All right. And now let's come back. There you are. Now let's have a different exercise to do. What would you like to do? What activity would you like to do?
Well, I was thinking it might be interesting to walk up to a complete stranger and shake their hand without getting nervous and without sticking up.
All right. Get yourself over. Go somebody close by and shake their hand.
Well, the thing that I my heart and my breathing that are being affected. At the time, I kind of feel like I'm probably doing okay and that I've got the person reasonably at ease, but I realise that I'm not myself at ease very much.
That's right. So let's start right up here. Here we are. This little head has to move. And it moves up. Can you see? Yes. So now, as your head moves up there, you look around. And what does that do?
Well, it feels like I've lengthened, and I'm sort of still a bit in touch with the sort of nervousness in my heart. But,
All right. So as you move your head a little bit more, this part of the body is going to have a chance to get some freedom because your body is always up in this direction. Now you have to get out of the chair, and you have to walk, and you have to shake a hand, and you have to walk again. You have to sit down. And so now let's do all those things in order, and go on again and shake somebody's hand. Now you can watch. And sit down. Now tell me how that was.
Well, a lot nicer.
What did you look like first time?
What did I look like to people looking at me?
Yes.
Well, I imagine I look like somebody in a bit of a rush, a little bit sort of narrowed down and hunched over. Hit my target and get it over and done with.
And what did you look like on the second time?
Well, as I stood up, I felt quite a lot of length, but I particularly noticed as I started to look around the breadth of my torso and the ease with which my breathing was working. I felt there was a lot more receptivity amongst the people sitting there about who I might respect rather than feeling anxious.
So you could be ready to go to a party. That's the way you learn to control your habits. All right. Now let's see. Go ahead. What do you want to do?
Oh, yeah, like to do this, like,
That would be great. All right, you started. All right, now let's sit down again. All right. How did you feel?
I did not know really where I wanted to be, but I want to stand in front of the chair or back to the chair, and I was not quite there when I got to this moment.
Oh, all right, so what did happen when you sat down? Can you remember what you did when you sat down?
Yeah.
They asked you to sit down.
And I think I stopped not to hurt me, but only for the stopping, to do it.
Okay.
That felt not supportive for myself.
All right. So now, what are we going to do first? What are we going to do to get ready to do?
Is to stop the impulse to do it at once and to do it right.
All right, so let's start. What will be the first thing that you will do?
I will release my neck, take my neck in, and
All
then
right.
jump.
Now, is your neck through? Is it?
If I ask myself, if it's true, then it's definitely not true. Well, I don't want to ask her, just to give the direction, not ask whether I'm doing what.
What's giving you direction?
My fault.
All right. So, all right, now what are you going to say to yourself? You want to start to get ready.
I want my neck to be free.
All right. Is it free? Did it move along there? All right. Now can you turn your head from side to side? What does that feel like?
It's quite free and gently in the neck, but I feel I'm doing too much effort in my shoulder.
That's right, you are.
And especially the shoulder blade along the shoulder blade.
You are. Your shoulders are beginning to curl in. So now I'll help you a little bit. Come on, let's go. Get moving. We've got a lot of people to help. Now, come on, get up on your feet. Now, how do you like that?
Fine. I would love to have you
All right,
with me
now-
after the conference.
Now we're where's the monkey?
Starts out though with releasing my neck.
All right, you release your neck, and then now what else are you going to do if you're going to go be having monkey?
My head goes forward and up, and at the same time my knees release forward and apart from each other, and the hips going back. And the
Get on, why don't you do it?
because you asked me only the
Is that what you want to do for monkey?
I would like to do a bit less with my legs, but I don't know quite how.
All right, let's stand up, let's get out of monkey. Let's take a couple steps forward. Now do monkey.
No, that's great.
How are we doing?
Fine. At least you are doing fine. I don't know what I'm doing.
Is that a good monkey? Is that a good monkey?
It feels as if I can stand for a long time like this. It's comfortable.
All right, now let's Unmonkey us.
Monkey is a great word.
Yes, the first time I've ever used it.
It's a nice word.
Now, what do you want to do?
I would like to do the whispered off.
All right, we're just ready for it. Or would you like to sit or stand?
I would like to do it in this monkey, this comfortable monkey. Is it all right?
Oh, yes, yes, it's fine, go ahead. Now, let's let the monkey do the whisper it all. I think that is a great combination.
I like it.
All right, come on, let's have the whistle it all. I can't hear it. What are you doing up here? Up close.
Now we're pushing it inward, shortening here.
Yes. So now let's come on up. Does that feel better?
I like the monkey. It's just one or the other thing.
Well, you like to do it. Is that what you said? All right, but I asked you, was that a good monkey?
The first one I enjoyed more.
You did. Well, I'll give you a chance on one more because these people want some help. Now tell me what you're doing.
I'm releasing my neck and trying not to do it right and perfect. I'm trying to do this.
Wait a minute. Let's get all, you're muddling up too much. There shouldn't be. If you're releasing your neck here, you don't try to do it. You just move your head a little bit up there. And now let's go on with it. Now what's next?
I think of something funny.
That's the best part of monkey. I whispered off. That then every time it will do you a lot of good. Now do a nice close. Now do another one. I don't hear anything.
I hear.
I'll do another one. Now, what are we doing? We're coming back here and we're releasing all of this, which right now you have tightened up. You have, your whole body goes up in this direction. All right? Has she been doing a few little things up here? All right. So now let's let you go back and sit down.
Thank you very much.
Did that help you?
Yeah, of course it did.
All right. What are you going to do? You're already in a slump. I know a slump. You go in a slump because you get out. So how do you feel?
Breathing, shallow, and surprisingly good.
Well, you're having a terrible time. Let's see if my hands can do something. Or my voice do something for this thing. Because what you work with is this. this thing. I'm calling your head. Everything above my hand is your head. One nice head that moves around. And I'm going to put my hands right there and ask you to follow my hands. Is he following?
Yes.
All right. You like to follow?
Yeah.
All right. What does this feel like?
Lengthening. Feels fluid. Huh?
All right, so move with me a little bit more. I won't take your head away. Just move up there. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that great? Now this part of your body is going to have to move. And what do you notice already about it? As I'm helping. Do you notice anything? Do you feel different?
Yes. It feels higher up.
Yes. All right. Now I'm going to come here again. A little bit of ease. I'm going to come here for these shoulders to follow my hands. And this is really going to be a quick and a good one. And then I'm going to, here, I guess I better do it this way. I'm going to ask you to move forward from your hips. And what does that feel like?
Oiled.
Now let's come on back. How did you like that?
Yeah, very much. I feel kind of movable, quite low down.
Yes, way down to your hips, way down here, because you don't have any hinges over here. So this moves up this way, and I can help you because you don't know quite where to take yourself. But it's a little bit up in this direction. And there we go. How do you like that?
Well, it feels good, but I feel a tension in the back between my shoulder blades.
Yes, I bet you do, but I just haven't had time to get there. Some of these things take a little bit of time. So if you follow my hand and move up there, you'll get some freedom in this upper part of your body. And then you'll be real happy. You won't like the good old slump. But I would never want you to give it up. Because sometimes the slump, if it is done as a good slump, it can be very helpful. All right. Now, would you like to get out of the chair?
Yes, up to.
All right. So let's move up here. And do what you need to do to get yourself on the board. Please. Oh, wait, you're tall. What does that feel like?
Very good.
A little bit of nothing? No, it's a little bit of something. Oh, look at this crowd around here. I bet they wish they were up here. Oh. There you go. Slide your hips back. And rest against the chair. And look at the people. Do you look different? Yeah.
a question? Please.
When you work with the first, I don't know the name, you, and when you finish, you said to her, now you have the information, and then you, I can't remember exactly the words, but with a conscious thinking, you can work with it. Can you be more specific about what you mean by the information? How would you do you understand my question?
Let me ask again, and then you tell me if I understood.
Okay.
When you worked with the first person, you told her that now she had the information, and she could then use her constructive thinking to make use of that information.
They already have.
She's already has. The question was, what would you speak more about what you mean by information? Is this the question?
Or define it or describe it. Like what information can we use to work with? Can you just make it more defined or describe it?
Is there a way to describe the information that you shared with that student?
That information, that
Tell them.
the information, the information that I have given that person the first time is information that we'll use for the following times, because you will have to show the person and that they do not change activities in a minute. In other words, if you have a student that needs that help, I think all of the students, I think everybody here needs that kind of help. It's the simplicity of what Alexander did, that we come to a class to learn something about it, but that class is going to be full of people just like tonight. Some of them have had a little bit of work. Some of them have had a little more work. Some haven't had any work. And you don't change habits fast. Does that give you some help?
Yes, thank you.
Shall we take more questions? Cheryl?
Yeah, just about the information. When you say you gave her information, do you mean what she learned from your hands? Is the information came all from your hands?
Well, the information comes out of everything the teacher does. Her talking, her discussing, her showing her, and just as I did with this gentleman here.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Cheryl.
You said to my first colleague, the head reaction up and forward. And we are, I think, more used to forward and up. And it's all together and one after the other. Does it make a difference for you whether it's up and forward or forward and up?
No, it depends upon the condition. Your head goes forward and up as one movement. See that?
Yeah.
And that's the way in anything. Suppose you go to somebody to learn to play the piano, I guess, and they want to play the piano, and the teacher has to start with something simple, and then you get a little more, and then you get it a little more. Isn't that what happens? And you don't, if you go dancing, you don't learn how to dance in 1 month, but you learn a great deal about it so you can be a good dancer. And the constructive thinking and the way FM has recognized and put together these things that I'm showing you tonight. I've been working for this for about 60 years, and I'm still learning. So the teacher just has to improve along with the pupil. I mean, that's what I've done. I do something for a pupil, and just like this, you doing the talking, and I'm talking, and together we could make and work with a type of something that would help the situation at hand. Does that give you any information? And some days don't you feel better than other days? What do? When you don't feel so bad you do feel so bad some days. Then the next day you feel great.
Marjorie, I think we have one last question, and then we'll get back to doing activities if we can.
This is somewhat related to the answer that you just gave. I know that when I deal with so many new students, sometimes I hear my voice come back to me as saying the same things over and over again. Could you comment on your 60 years of teaching and how you kept it fresh for yourself?
She wants to know how you keep this new and fresh every day.
How do I keep?
How do you keep your teaching new and fresh every day?
Most of the time it's something, I get it from something a student has told me or asked me. They ask a lot of silly questions. You would work with a person 10 minutes and probably have twice that many words from them. So I just turn off onto another thing. Tell them to go home and think about it.
What time do we have?
20 minutes.
Are there 2 or 3 people who have activities that they would like to have some help with? Sure? Sure. Well, why don't you 3 come? Because they were the first hands I saw.
What do you want to do?
I would like help with beginning a story, looking at the audience, and not planting my feet, coming down, tightening.
I don't know what.
I would like to begin a story and at the same time make friendly eye contact with the audience. Just one sentence. up when I do it.
Oh, all right. Are you ready to start?
Once upon a time, in a land 1,000 miles from here, there lived an old woodcutter and his daughter.
Go on.
They lived together in a small hut by the edge of a great forest. One day, the daughter turned to her father and said, "Father, I'm so tired of the porridge we eat morning, noon, and night. Couldn't we have something new and delicious to have to eat?"
Did I do anything for you? Or at you or with you?
I felt my voice change, but I also have this conflict between inside and outside.
Forget it.
Good answer.
That's the one you're going to get from me.
I know.
All right, how's the story going?
Should I continue?
Well, I think a little bit.
Very well, daughter, said the father. I shall get up very early tomorrow and go deep into the forest, cutting an extra large bundle of wood. I'll take it to the market, sell it for a very high price, and bring home something new and delicious to eat. And so it was in the morning. He got up very early before the sun was up. And he went deep into the forest, spent all the morning cutting and shaping branches.
Is that what you're doing?
There's a lot more space in my rib cage. I'm holding my legs down.
Leave your tongue alone.
I'm not sure what you mean.
Well, don't stick it out at what you say. The end of the sentence, or even in the middle of a thought, if your lips are dry, what would you should you do? Do that once. Now that's it. See, you can't talk without that tongue, can you? So there you are. That's all the trouble you had.
I'm not sure I understand.
You're wiggling and fussing around with your legs while you're talking. I want to say one or two sentences. And just watch this. You see, what you're really doing, you're over-tightening right through here. But that's because this should have a little more freedom. There, now go on.
The daughter woke up and forgetting about the conversation of the night before, went out to play, locking the door of the house behind her.
Did you get that? No? All right. Here you are. Now we want to say something.
When the father returned home for his mid-morning meal, he found the house locked against him. Oh, I shall go back into the forest and cut more wood. And tomorrow I will take a double load to market.
Now how is that? That's all you need.
I'd like to do some movements and Tai Chi
All right.
and not drop down into my hips.
You're not dropping it here. You are dropping.
I do.
Well, you'll have to show us a little.
Yeah, just come out here.
All right, let's stop. Because what you're doing is you start working with your arms. I'll try to talk a little bit louder. What she is doing, then when she starts to do Tai Chi, she begins to raise her chest, and now start and do it again. And I'll point these things out. Now this should move a little bit. It shouldn't look so scary. Leave this please. See, she's tightening all the muscles right through here. When this should be free. And now bring your arms up. We'll move them a little bit faster than usual. And then this part of the body should be following in an upward direction in such a manner that this whole system is having a little bit of freedom because she's lengthening her whole body. Now she goes on to do a step of some kind. Does that feel different at all?
Yeah, for much longer.
Yes.
Too.
You see, and that's the thing that you want to watch.
Let me just clarify. So what I do is I'm tightening here and lifting it up.
Well, no, you're tightening. You're tightening here, and the release. Now don't do that with your chin. See, you stick your chin up, everybody, most everybody, when they begin on some body activity, always do this, tilt their head back. Now, your head moves just easily. See, that even feels different to you, doesn't it? All right, that's where it starts. Now, wait a minute. Put your head back.
It's a habit.
It is a habit. And the only way to get rid of habits is what Alexander tells you to do. And it's too simple. What could be simpler in a way of movement than a person moving their heads easily there, so there's freedom, and allow this part of the body to have room to move in. We've got all kind of bones and things inside of us, don't we? And if you start any, just your daily activities, and you tie yourself all up. And so what FM says, open your eyes and see what you look like, and then begin to do some constructive thinking and find out what happens. Yes? Okay. Now, do you want to try to do a bit more?
Sure, if there's time.
Just a little bit more.
Okay. Now you're going to forget everything you know about movement. And what you're going to do is to say, what can I do first? And the first things you're going to do is going to do this. Because you think you ought to stand up straight. And what do you know about standing up straight? How do you know when you're doing this is standing up straight? This isn't standing up straight. And suppose you do this. Think you're standing up straight? No. Well, why do you stay that way? Well, I've got a brain, and my brain ought to help me in something, so why don't I quit it? Why don't I just a little tiny bit you're going to move? You're not going to move a lot. It's a tiny, tiny bit here, which connects with your bones here. And then that feels so good that this begins to go up. And now that feels so good, I'm going to go back and sit in a chair and think about it and do it. That's the way you can learn.
Okay, one last person, Marge.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you, Marge. I know. Well, I have a lot of music that I've got to prepare for concerts. And over the years and working with you and other people in the technique, I've finally learned to accept ahead of time that it's never going to be what I want it to be, that it's going to be wrong, which has taken a lot of stress away. But, I mean, by that I really mean that I'm willing to say that before I even open my mouth to give a note, I'm willing to fail on a higher level, I hope, than I failed last time.
Yes.
Just that. And there's something that I feel I've been doing that I've zeroed in on. It's a very small move. I think it's a small move. And it's up around in the upper couple of ribs. And it's just preparatory to the first note. It's a little setting in here.
Oh,
And, well, for instance, today I'm coming down with a cold, and I haven't sung in a few days. So it would be great if I could sing the opening phrase of something for you, but I don't think that's too smart. I would start with just a few notes. And if you can see anything that I could leave alone better in here,
All right.
I really appreciate it because that colors the sound that comes out.
All
So I'll
right.
just start the way I would if I was going to practice today.
We'll just do some of your practice.
Okay. I can feel the breathiness in my voice from this level I've got, but that's not really the problem. It's something I can't find it particularly.
All
I'll
right.
try another few vocalisms. Can you watch what I do? Because it's the breathe sing.
All right. Now, let me just move your head a bit for you. What you're going to do is follow my lead. Now, you aren't following my
I was
head.
heavy. I could feel myself heavy. Give me another try.
Well, don't look so sad.
It's frustrating.
Let's close your lips a bit. And let me move your head and you won't. I'm going to do just a little thing right here. No, I don't want you to make a sound.
Okay.
That's all. I want to move your head first without making a sound. And look up.
It was just
Take a look at the way this sits. Okay. Now this is a little bit of ease. And I'm going to do it for you. And don't you get chesty
Yeah.
with it. I love things like this.
I look forward to because you don't have to sing that program next month.
All right. Forget the program.
All right.
And just notice where I'm taking your head, what I'm doing. And just close your lips. And I'm going to move your head 2 or 3 times. Open your eyes. Are your eyes open? Look at you. Entertain yourself by looking at those feet. That's pretty nice, isn't it?
So I usually get to about that easiness after the first song. So.
No, don't talk about any of those. Everything is in the future. Right now. I mean, even
Just stay present.
what I've helped you with right here is what I wanted to get. So now I want to get a little something more. So I'm going to do this. And I'm going to come right in here and do a little something right here. I don't know whether it's going to be helpful or not, but we're going to give it a try. Oh, what does that do? All right, now let's start to sing. Now you're going to follow my hand and sing. All right, now let me move your chin. And as you move your chin, push on my thumb like this with your foot. Now do it now. That's close now. What did that do? Can
Yeah,
you-
I think I'm holding slightly into here as
I know that I can
as
hear
I
it.
very slightly reinforce myself from here.
I can hear it. I don't know whether the machine can.
I could feel this, but I couldn't feel this setting.
Yes, I know you can. And I know where it is, but I'm not going to tell you.
That's fine. I don't need to flatter myself with that, but I do.
Well, so put chocolate involved. All right, look around. Now let's do this. Now I'm going to do this again. And then I'm going to do this if I can. Wait a minute. Don't you move. You stay there. Right through here. This is her dress. But that's not her shoulder. Well, she doesn't sing with her shoulders anyhow. This. Do a little thing like this. And what does that feel like?
Feels like I can change the pattern. The pattern changes here also. Yeah, it's just much better. I feel my speaking is much better. So I know. I'm still a mess in my throat, but it's better. That's, yeah, that I can work to it with that.
And I wait a minute. All right, now sing. What's that do?
Yeah, if I were a great voice, it's I really would want.
All right, now I'm coming down here.
Actually, let's go with concert.
Feel my hand?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to move a little bit up. And you follow. You follow. And now sing. All right.
Better though.
Yes. Now, right now, I want you to move here with me. Can you feel my
Yeah,
hand?
I can.
All right. What is that?
Well, I'm not accustomed to doing that much in my ribs when I sing. I'm not accustomed to needing that much movement. I mean, it's okay for this little exercise, but if I had to do,
Not a little like.
I mean my little vocal exercise. I mean my little scale. I don't know that I could get through a big Bach passage that way. Though.
Well, you better,
You think I could?
no, but I tell you, you better quit doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, I know so.
You can hear it.
Yeah, I know.
See, very well, but for some reason, you've gotten a little bit off the track. And then you practice that little off the track and build up a feeling of that inside. And now you're still wanting to have that old feeling.
Let me ask you one question to clarify it. Do you think that I'm doing a holding here, and that's why this part wants to do the moving for this part?
Yeah, that's part of it. So if you, Alexander's whispered ahs are really for a thing like this, and they're wonderful. But what you have to do is when you begin to feel that thing, you better stop singing. Now, I don't mean stop singing.
I know what you mean. I've been really trying to stop and look at where the line is and why.
But you will need a little more ease, and you don't need to have your hands that way. And this, I'm sure, this is a thing that can help, because I've helped several people, and their voice box is included in them, and you get a little bit of freedom here, and then your ribs and voice mechanism, all that mechanism is under such pressure. But if you do that, if you take care of it, why, I don't know why you can't. It's just one of those things that nobody's, I don't know what to say. But I've helped quite a few people.
Oh, you helped me. You did today for the team.
Yeah. And
we've gone a little overtime. Marjorie has asked me to mention 3 things. In October and November, she will be doing 5-day workshops in Lincoln, Nebraska. These workshops will be 5 hours a day and limited to 25 participants. Also, she will be doing her 21st summer workshop next June. Yes, some people have already asked, and the rooms have already been booked. She'll be doing her 21st workshop next June for 3 weeks. If any of you would like further details, please see me before you leave today. Was there anything else you wanted to say to everyone?
well, I've had fun tonight. I hope you had as much fun as I had.
Very much.
Actually, it's in where I have been with